Okay, well, hello everybody, and here we are, National Libraries Week, and we're celebrating the fact that throughout the whole of COVID, the libraries and the staff have been working away on different projects. So I've got with me to hear Joey, one of my colleagues, and Joey is the volunteer and resource officer, and we're going to discuss about how Joey's job changed. And I know she took on a really different role across the COVID period. So welcome, Joey. Thanks for joining us today.
So thank you for inviting me.
Good. So first of all, before COVID struck, when we were just in the world of libraries, what actually did your role involve? What did you actually do?
In my role, I recruit and take care of volunteers for the library service. And before the lockdown, my job also included working with our library team to sort out the staff timetabling for all our library branches. So it was a lot of training and taking care of volunteers to do the home library service, to do lending library roles, summer reading challenge, story time volunteers, IT volunteers.
So really actually dealing with staff and with volunteers, so really across the whole board there.
Exactly,
really.
yeah.
And you touched on working with young people with the Duke of Edinburgh Award as well, didn't you?
Yes, that's right. Yes, we also have quite a number of Duke of Edinburgh volunteers every single year.
Yeah. That's great.
And they normally come in for summer reading challenge, but also throughout the year we have some projects as well that they can work with. Things like Saturday Lego, when we had our physical libraries open, we were able to have people coming in. They were taking care of this activity. And we also had things like scratch coding.
Yeah.
And microbits, this little computers.
That's brilliant. Actually, it's nice actually talking to you about your previous role, is that so you dealt with young people that are doing the Duke of Edinburgh, right up to people that maybe have retired and they've still got loads of skills and experience to offer. So,
yes. Actually. For the young volunteers, what's important really is that the library volunteering opportunity is really for them. It's built around giving them an experience of a structured workplace. It helps to develop their communication skills, their time planning skills, self-organization, and also gives them an opportunity to take the initiative.
Yeah, definitely.
And just help out and just be with us for a few months, once a week, and we get to know them, they get to know us, they get to know what the library service is like, and we hope that they take up more reading.
Absolutely. Like the reading.
Yes.
It's a really worthwhile
yes
scheme.
It is.
So obviously March this year COVID struck and unfortunately we had to completely lock down.
Yes.
So just talk me through, how did your role change with the volunteers, and did you have any other tasks that you took on?
So when lockdown happened, that was when all our physical library locations closed. Our efforts, we went into ensuring that customers were able to access our online digital library resources.
Yeah.
And where our volunteers were concerned, our Storytime volunteers, they worked with our library team, and they prepared quite a few Storytime videos.
They were brilliant, weren't they?
We posted on Facebook, isn't it?
It was fantastic.
So, on my role, I worked with our library team we just developed the digital social media offerings that we had on Facebook to begin. And then we were also working really hard to make sure that our library customers had, their access to the online resources that we could offer, that their access was, sort of seamless, making sure they had their pins, making sure they knew where to go, how to log in, all those sort of things. And I think it was exciting, and it was a fun new way of working.
Definitely.
It was all our focus was on ensuring our online provision worked, and I think it did.
It was really
well. Yeah.
As I say, when we really increased our online offer as well, didn't we? It was grow that side of our offer. So I enjoyed.
Yes, that's right.
Good. And then I know. What else did you take on? I know you.
I also got my son to work with me on filming short stop motion video clips of folk tales. I mean, we were using Lego to build the scenes for the stories, and then so we did these 2-minute videos of stories like Little Red Riding Hood, I think it was, and the enormous turnip and things like that.
But I know that was great that kept going. You said that you helped organise the volunteers to do the Saturday Lego Club, and I know that continued online, didn't it? So that was...
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's continued online. That's right. Yeah. So we have we just making. I mean, trying to get people to just use their creativity and imagination. It's essentially, making the Lego bricks work for you rather than the other way around.
Yeah, well,
isn't it?
Fantastic. It was really brilliant. So now I know that the libraries took on the shielding programme, so massive programme when COVID struck. So what was your role in that programme?
So the borough had built a service where we were making welfare calls to shielding residents.
Yeah.
To make sure they had access to essentials, meaning food and medication.
Yeah.
And then we were also signposting people, information wise, things like how to access anything else they might need, like transportation to the hospital or something like that, or who do I contact for getting XYZ, that sort of stuff. So we were working with there were quite a few RBWM staff service areas.
Yes.
Who worked with the libraries team as well. I mean, to do these welfare calls to the residents, or being able to signpost them, taking care of making sure that our staff members who were making the calls had the up-to-date information.
Yeah.
There was those shielding guidance that was changing, quite sometimes changing
all the time, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Every few months it would change. And so you had to update and make sure that they had the right information. And then there were community organizations that we were connected to as well. For example, if a resident needed someone to pick up shopping for them or go to the pharmacy to collect medication, then we were able to help them connect to a community organization that had a volunteer who would then go to the resident and do these bits of picking up food shopping.
Were you involved in actually coordinating? It's a massive project. So were you involved in actually coordinating these contact names out to the staff, and how did you actually manage it?
So I got involved in May, and the shielding project thing, of course, started out in end of March or something like that. So someone had another person in the borough had already put together the list of community organizations. They had, the hubs, and then so that there was a list, and then of course they had people, all our staff, library staff and community wardens and the democratic services, the mayor's office, people, street care. They were all they had staff coming to volunteer to make these calls. So they were given all the information, and they were given the list of people that they had to call every day.
Okay. Yeah.
And so when I came in, my role then was to make sure that the list was updated every day.
Okay. Yeah.
The allocations of calls were sent out to staff, and make sure that there were any problems, any residents having problems, you need to then go and problem solve.
Yeah.
Try to match these people up to something that they need, that sort of stuff, or to refer if they needed access to adult social care, then to refer them to adult social care, that sort of stuff. The connections.
Yeah, amazing. maybe that's one of the reasons why the library service was chosen, because I know that a lot of the people have great customer service skills, so we're dealing with the public the whole time. And of course,
Yes, that's right. Yes.
so I can see how it all came together
Yes.
really, and
Yes.
it was, congratulations, it was really successful. It was fantastic. Really, really.
Yes, I think we're known to be responsive. That's what it is, and our work mentality is to be responsive.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, I think it's worked quite well. Yeah, we had our home library service,
Okay.
and so I am taking care of that as well now.
Okay, yeah.
So if anyone would like to have books delivered to them,
Right.
but they're housebound or they're caring for someone who is housebound or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and so they don't have time, they should just contact the library and say that they would like to have the home library service, and I will contact them, and you get books delivered out to you.
So that would maybe just be a phone call to Maidenhead Library. Would that be enough to set the contact?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, and they will direct it to me.
That sounds like a very
and I will contact the person and so on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks ever so much for telling me.
Okay.
So, of course, we are a library and we are about books as well. And
yes,
I can't let you go without asking you, can you recommend a book or something that you read that you can tell the viewers about?
Okay. So at the moment, I have just started reading Tokyo Ueno Station, and it's by an author. The name of the author is Yu Miri.
Okay.
She's actually, I mean, she's a Korean. She's a South Korean writer, but her native language is Japanese because her parents lived in Japan. And anyway, so this book anyway, the Tokyo Ueno Station, it's really about it's this character Kazu. He's actually dead, and he goes back, and he goes back to the place where he lived in Tokyo, this Ueno Park. He was homeless for a while, and then and then there are flashbacks. So he's going through visiting all the people who are still living there, and he kind of he talks to them or something like that, and then he also does a lot of flashbacks, and he's referring back to his life and the things that happened and situations that which he didn't actually think, he didn't have time to think about, back then, but now he's reflecting on it.
Well, I know the story does sound very, very intriguing, and guys,
yes,
have a look. We have got several copies of that in the library, haven't we? So kind of do have a look.
Yes.
But Joey, thank you very much for joining us. It's amazing, really interesting talking to you, how your role changed and what you're currently working on with the whole COVID situation. Congratulations, it's been a real success, the Shielding Project, and thanks very much for joining us. Thank you.